We are demonstrating a tip technique that we use to in various situations, but here we're pulling it out a large locust, decent locust limb out of a maple. It's in the maple pretty good. This is a good technique to use when I don't want to make small cuts and pull every limb out of another tree, you know, getting all snagged up and hooked on things. It's no fun. So the first thing I gotta do is get a tip tie out here, and the tip of the tree or the branch, excuse my there we go. Get a tip tie. You know, you want to make sure everything's proportionate. Of course, this is called butt redirecting. So I'm gonna put a sling down at the base of the limb, and of course the wood usually can put a hefty chunk of weight on the branch, but you also have to consider water weight out in the tips, and you know, it can get snagged on things. Sometimes that can help things, sometimes it can make it worse. So you are going to pull the branch in the direction you want to pull it. It's always important to communicate.
We might be pulling it into the house, so but I kind of need this pull for the beginning, so you might have to like dip out the other way after it goes.
So here I'm gonna put a pie, a face, what have you, in the direction that I want to crank the limb up, because I'm gonna have mechanical force with that sling and carabiner. You can even put a pulley on to make it smoother and whatnot, but it's kind of important to have the rope on the sling on the butt. It needs to be pulled against that carabiner right there, pulley, what have you, and it needs to be directional pulled. Any mechanical pull, you really have to utilize these points and get direction against, because if it's all frictioned up in other spots in this carabiner, the system's not going to work. If you have it faced the wrong way, the system's not going to work the way you want it.
Hard part now is watching out for me. Where do I go? That's gonna go.
And that's definitely important too. I've utilized GRCSs before in the past, and I learned about something called the triangle of death, and that's 3 points of where the limb may go, your rig point, where you're at, and where everything's going to end up. You really have to watch what can happen utilizing a system like this, because things can get pulled your direction. You need to be able to, I don't know, dip, run away, possibly get out of the way before the cut's even finished, and you can have the groundies even break it off in some situations, depending on the wood. You know, you got to have some sense about your hinges and woods and what have you. So
yeah, she's really gonna want to go at the house.
It'll be all right though. I think
It'll go.
it's gonna come and stop right about there if I don't.
communication's important. I got nervous here, but you know, we were reassured. He reassured. We've done this a million times, but you just have to be careful. It's a really cool technique, but it's just, you have to be careful is all.
Yeah, it'll be slow enough too. So okay. And I'm dipping if I got a dip. All right, let's do it. Second. Okay, hold. Some more cut.
A lot of times too, the climber can help, you know, pull on the system, and you want to take your time and get a little cut, crank some more, get some pressure, and see what's happening with everything. And you can help give some pressure. Maybe you only have one person on the ground, you need a lot of pressure, whatnot. So just take your time and make small back cuts. Leave as much hinge as you can, especially on the direction that you need it to hinge for you, the right holding woods and such. So
ready? Very nice.
So I'm gonna try and rewind it here just a little bit. Right here is probably the best spot that I can kind of draw out a triangle for you that I was talking about earlier, the triangle of death. So the butt's usually gonna tend to go down here into this bottom point. Excuse me, my doodles here. But typically you never want to be in the direction you're pulling. Even sometimes too, if you underestimate the weight of the branch, the ground guys down there have to be ready to let go of the system, you know what I mean? You have to put the brakes on it and get out of the way. Sometimes they'll zip right down to you, and if you're not paying attention, you can really get nailed. So it's a technique that can be risky, but if you master it, really, it's not scary at all. You kind of get a sense about it, and just any rigging technique, you really have to keep your wits about you. I mean, so any rigging techniques risky, honestly, but yeah. And I'll mention too, on the letdown, you really have to relax the system against that sling.
Nice.
And it sometimes if you need to let it go quick, you really just have to relax that rope and let it go. So really cool system, I think. It keeps the butt away from everything. That's why I call it the butt redirect. I really like it. We use it a lot. But yeah, appreciate you guys watching. Thank you.